I can hardly express what a pleasure it was arriving at Mohonasen as the new superintendent and learning that Judy was my secretary. Judy was patient with me, answered my multitude of questions, and tried not to make too much fun of me when I messed things up. Judy possesses a commanding knowledge of central office practices, procedures, and processes, and was able to share that knowledge in a humble yet reassuring manner. If you've been in education for any length of time, you know that executive secretaries are the main drivers of success for successful administrators. To say it candidly, Judy carried the brunt of the load and made me look good through her efforts and her support. To say I'm grateful seems insufficient. All my best in your retirement, Judy.
Hi, I'm Janine Carroll.
Hi, I'm Meg Fountain.
Hi, I'm Tracy Fremantle.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Smith.
Hi, I'm Ruth Martino.
And we're the business office. And we would like to wish Patty Hopkins a happy retirement.
Patty has worked for the districts since 1996 in a variety of positions. For the past 14 years, she has been an accounts payable clerk. Shortly after Patty started in the business office, New York State Office of Comptroller came into audit. Based on that experience, if you sent up a purchase order without the proper documentation, Patty was not going to process it. Patty is warm, generous, and kind. She has a big heart and an infectious laugh. Her laughter can often be heard throughout the office, probably because she is saying something that will make you want to blush. Patty, thank you for all your years of fun, hard work, and dedication. We will miss you.
I'm extremely honored to say a few words on behalf of Becky Pauley as she retires after 30 years in the district. Becky actually got her start as a manager and bartender at the Cranberry Bog, where she honed her conversational skills. But her true calling was as a counselor. She started with Mohonasen in 1990 and has spent the last 30 years touching the lives of so many students. I can tell you a personal reflection of mine is that when I started as a 23-year-old counselor, Becky was my rock. Every day after school, I would go through all the issues that came up over the course of my day, all the questions that I wrote down, all the things that I needed advice on. And Becky was there for me every single time and would stay until I was completely done. Whether I was laughing, whether I was crying, whether it was 7 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night, Becky would stay all the way through. And I can't thank you enough for that. The kindness and compassion that she showed me is something that she showed all through the years to our families and our students. You are going to be greatly missed. I'd like to read a few student statements about Mrs. Pauley. Mrs. Pauley has always been there for me and my friend whenever we needed it. Even if it was last minute, she always found a way to help us out. Mrs. Pauley has been there for me since day one and will always be in my heart. She taught me how to be resourceful and do my research, especially when it came to doing scholarships. She helped figure out my path in life. She's inspired me to be who I am, and she's always there to listen. In addition to those student comments, here are a few other special people that would like to say some words on behalf of Mrs. Pauley.
You will never know
how many lives
And hearts
you have influenced,
including our hearts.
Thank you for 30 years of dedication.
I'd like to recognize and honor retiree Cindy Clough, who's retiring after a long and successful career at the high school as the attendance clerk. So Cindy began at Mohonasen in 1995 and was a teacher's aide, then moved to be the attendance clerk, and then just retired as the attendance clerk in December. However, Cindy was not quite done. We did ask her to come back, and she filled in through the winter and the spring in the high school main office because she loves being at the high school so much that she just couldn't let it go. So Cindy, just want to say thank you to you for your dedicated service, and you will be missed.
Paul, I can't tell you what a pleasure it's been for the last 10 years to have conversations with you every day. Even though 5 years of those times, I think that you thought I was a Yankee fan, and then you realized that I was a diehard Red Sox fan, but it didn't change the fact that you gave me daily Yankee updates. It also made today a very easy choice for me as to what to wear. The 4 Red Sox championships. I'm not sure when the last time the Yankees won one is. You're going to be greatly missed around the office. The big smile, the calm demeanor, always being there when we needed you. I know that you're going to have a wonderful retirement. You have tons of interests. You're a culinary wizard, and you also know how to make some great homemade spirits. We are going to miss you tremendously. We know that you'll be around the high school. Please don't be a stranger. Take care and enjoy yourself.
Hi, I'm Tracy Fremantle, the District Treasurer and Business Office Supervisor. I would like to congratulate Paul Paszkiewicz on his retirement. Paul has worked for the district since 1989, but has been the school courier for the past 26 years. I've had the pleasure of working with him for the past 13 years. So what can you say about Pauley? Pauley could always be found with a smile on his face. Perhaps that is because he makes his own limoncello and wine, which he kindly shares with those throughout the district. Pauley always went above and beyond to help others and get the job done. Thank you, Pauley, for all your years of hard work. We will miss you.
If Mohonasen had a Hall of Fame for its teachers, Laura would be in it. Having Mrs. Gallelli for grade 6 was almost a rite of passage. If you had her, you didn't forget her. She was the teacher that made learning fun every single day she showed up. Let me correct that. She never just showed up. She came to school every day on a mission determined to make someone's life better. You never knew what she would come to school as, though. It could be a cave woman from the Stone Age, a superhero, a Titanic passenger, a medieval princess, a fast food employee, a judge, an investigator, a criminal, a character in a book, and I'm positive there are more costumes that I'm forgetting. Let us not forget what would happen on December 1st. That was a display of ugly Christmas sweaters. Yup, every day in December she wore a different one. Her room was always transformed into whatever she was teaching. Sometimes it was a medieval castle, the North Pole, a prehistoric cave, the Titanic, a crime scene, a courtroom, an Olympic stadium, complete with a bobsled track, or an amusement park full of roller coasters. Let's just say the custodial staff might be holding their own retirement celebration in honor of Laura, knowing they won't have to clean up after her edible or exploding volcanoes, Clan Day, or full moon parties. And there will actually be extra parking at Draper now because she would no longer be taking up 2 spots every day. Her generosity is like no other. She spent most of her paycheck on her classrooms or her colleagues. Laura is struggling with retirement because she still loves her profession. To this day, she's working harder than ever. Not many teachers can say they got 77 kids to show up on a Google Meets on a weekly basis. So that brings me to another topic. Another department that may be celebrating Laura's departure is our IT team. Laura hated using technology, but she did it every day and always was the first to try things. It usually was a disaster until she figured it out, but she always did. I want to say so much more, but I was only given 2 minutes. I'm losing my wingman at school, but not my forever friend. Enjoy this special time in your life, Laura, with your beautiful family. Draper will never be the same. Paul, we started at Pinewood the same year. It's amazing the change that we have taught through. Basals, whole language, continuums, running records, Fontes Pinnell, standards, anticipatory sets, starters, bell ringers, exit tickets, targets. The buzzwords have all come and gone. But throughout all the changes, the ups and the downs, you were a constant teammate, professional, but most of all, a constant friend. You were that male role model that so many of our students needed. Your humor, creativity, and laughter kept students engaged and eager to learn. Draper will never be the same, and here is what we will all miss about you.
The thing that I'll miss most about having Paul at Draper is not being able to hear his laugh all the way down the hallway every day.
How to sum up Paul Browne in 10 seconds or less. Sort of impossible, but one thing I will miss a lot about him is his crazy sense of humor and those ridiculous videos he would start classes with, especially the ones Wednesday morning.
Paul Browne, what could I say? You're my neighbor next door, in school of course, who whenever you need something, you know where to go. You'd come running in and say, "Do we have a meeting today?" I love you, Paul. Best of luck.
I think what I'll miss most about Paul is his ability to make just about any situation comical. Love you, Paul.
I'm going to miss having you there to be the voice of reason in the midst of a bunch of emotional females at our meetings.
What I will miss most about Paul is his infectious laugh that you can hear all the way down the 6th grade hallway. I will also miss hearing the loud music blasting from his classroom every day.
One thing I'll miss about Paul is walking down the hallway in the morning and not hearing his music playing to kick off the start of the day.
Paul Browne, you know I'm gonna miss most being able to give you my friendly greeting. Here's to many more Pearl Jam concerts. Love you, Paul.
Lisa Carnibucci served Mohonasen for almost 2 decades. She began teaching math at Draper Middle School in the year 2000 and transitioned into administration as an assistant principal in 2016. A year later, Lisa became the first principal of Mohonasen's crown jewel, the Center for Advanced Technology, locally referred to as the CAT. During her time at the CAT, Lisa worked hard to establish the current positive culture and climate by interacting with and unifying hundreds of students from 24 component school districts across the region that were engaged in cutting-edge career and technical education programs. Job fairs, technology showcases, press briefings, and drama productions were just a few of the initiatives Lisa oversaw during her time at the CAT. In keeping with her strong academic teaching background in math during the same time she was leading the CAT, Lisa also served as the district's academic administrator for secondary mathematics. Lisa served as a respected leader both at the CAT and for the math department up until her retirement. And during her final summer at Mohonasen, Lisa teamed up with veteran administrator Loretta Cosa to oversee the Capital Region Regional Summer School and established the working framework for regional summer schools going forward. Thank you, Lisa, for your outstanding service to the Mohonasen School District as a teacher and an administrator. Best wishes in your retirement.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Lewis. I'm the Director of Special and Alternative Education for the Mohonasen School District. It is my pleasure to recognize Martha Mallon, a special education teacher at Mohonasen High School. Martha Mallon has been working with children with special needs since she was in middle school when she started volunteering and working at a summer camp. Martha started at Broad Elementary as a consultant teacher in 1995. Throughout her career in the Mohonasen School District, she has worked in all 4 of our district buildings. Martha has taught a variety of self-contained and consultant teacher positions throughout her 35 years of teaching. When I consulted with Martha's colleagues to prepare for this recognition, they were so excited to give me information and pictures of Martha. They have loved working with her over the years. Some quotes include, "Martha has the biggest heart. She is always willing to help. Martha has always been able to make instant connections with staff and students. We are always waiting to hear about her summer plans, like the time she went sailing in Croatia." That's right, Croatia. Martha loves sailing and her work with Victoria Acres, a local horse stable. Martha has enjoyed her adventures with her husband Paul and children Sarah and Drew. In my brief time working with Martha, I have been impressed with her ability to advocate for students. She is able to be a team player, and if something doesn't seem okay for students, she will try to problem-solve solutions to meet students' needs. Martha has embodied a lifestyle of empowerment for herself, loved ones, and students. She will continue to chase down future adventures and embrace the possibilities in her life. The entire Student Support Services Department wish Martha all of the best, continuing to seek the most out of her daily adventures. Thank you, Martha Mallon, for your lifelong commitment to students with special needs. It takes a true adventurer and strength of character to help our students reach their fullest potential. We wish you all of the best and can't wait to hear about your exploits.
Hello. I am very pleased to have the opportunity to speak on behalf of Mrs. Darcy Brem today. Darcy joined the Mohonasen family on September 1st, 1988. She is a national board certified teacher and was appointed on the State Professional Standards and Practices Board for Teaching in 2002. Darcy stepped up into the role of instructional team leader last year, and like most things she took on, she did it with pride and a desire to do the best for her team and the students of Pinewood. Darcy retired on January 6th, but we could not let her sail into retirement without some kind words being said. My time with Darcy was relatively short, but in my 2.5 years, I quickly learned how much value she placed on bettering her instruction and the craft of teaching. I believe we were working together for just a few short months before she came to my door and asked if we could talk. Of course, I said, yes, come on in. She sat down, and that led to our first discussion about the Danielson rubric together, reviewing each of the subdomains and I quickly discovered the value she placed on her craft and how to become an even better teacher. That set the stage for many other conversations about teaching and students. Mrs. Brem is a lifelong learner who cares about the craft of teaching and who I could count on to be part of new initiatives and exploring best practices, and most importantly, doing what was best for students. Thank you, Darcy. I wish you the best.
Congratulations to Maria Pacheco on her retirement. Thank you, Maria, for serving our district for the last 34 years. We appreciate your passion for the Spanish language and culture and your service to our district. We wish you well in your retirement and hope you find your dream cabin on the beach.
Hello, my name is Dave Austin, Athletic Director here at Mohonasen, and I'm here to speak on behalf of Bill Matola. Bill is a phys ed teacher and coach roles. He has served here at Mohonasen since 1988. I was 4 years old at the time that he started, so just out of diapers. So to be in one place for that amount of time is absolutely incredible. Sorry for making you feel old, Bill. Bill has taught phys ed in all four of our school buildings. He's coached several sports, including the swim team, since 1988. He's been the only boys swim coach in Mohonasen history, started coaching 10 years before we even had a pool, and has been named Section 2 Coach of the Year on 2 separate occasions. Bill, you have been an asset to our programs. We're lucky to have had you for as long as we did, and we all hope you have the best retirement. Thank you, Bill.
Sue Braiman started teaching at Mohonasen High School in 1990 as a business teacher. So she came here with degrees from Schenectady Community College as well as Oswego, and spent her entire career here at Mohonasen. So Sue was actually here long enough to have taught some of our faculty and staff, as well as administrators. So if you're looking for any dirt on anybody, Sue would be the person to have it. But in all seriousness, Sue, congratulations to you. You absolutely will be missed, and we wish you the very best.
On behalf of the Science Department and the Mohonasen community, I would like to say congratulations on your retirement. Your time at Mohonasen, all 23 years, has provided students with the opportunity to be successful as they pursue knowledge and science. Your commitment and dedication to the Mohonasen community is commendable and has provided consistency over time. As a science department, we have all appreciated your contributions and collaboration on projects, curriculum development, and your overall support of the high school science program. You have helped to create and sustain a program that is rigorous and forward-thinking, and that has provided students with classroom experiences that are engaging and relevant. You will continue to have an impact on students as the program you helped build is continually shaped and molded to fit the needs of students. We hope your plans for retirement are plentiful, and that you will be able to enjoy this time with family and friends, expand on your hobbies and interests, and find new ones to enjoy. Thank you again for your dedication and commitment to the Mohonasen community. Congratulations on your retirement, and make sure to enjoy every minute of it. On behalf of the Science Department and the Mohonasen community, I would like to say congratulations on your retirement. Your commitment and dedication to our students, parents, and profession has been tremendous over the past 17 years. We're fortunate to have had you on our team and for the consistency you have provided students throughout the years. You have made significant positive impacts on many of them that will have far-reaching effects. One of your passions at the high school is a great metaphor for your work. The Mohonasen Garden has flourished under your care. It is a demonstration of how consistency and commitment pays dividends in the long run. The same care you put into the garden was evident in your teaching and your relationships with students. Just as your garden will remain and flourish for future student cohorts, so your impact on students and the Mohonasen community will continue to be felt. We all hope your retirement is a time of enjoyment and relaxation. Do what makes you happy and fulfills your soul. Find other avenues to have an impact on your community because you have much more to give. Again, congratulations on your retirement, and make sure to stay in touch.
Hello, my name is Rick Arquette, and I am honored to present Amanda Brooks as a recipient of tenure for this upcoming school year. Amanda is a part of our special education department and has been a fantastic addition to the Draper team over these past 4 years. And quite simply, she has everything you would ask or want from a new teacher. Amanda is very bright. She's very driven. She is fantastic with instruction and specifically with instructional technology. Each time I popped into her classroom, I felt like she was using some new and cool program to engage her students. It's also very clear that Amanda loves kids. She's formed incredibly strong relationships with her students and her parents over the past 4 years. And maybe most importantly, I feel like Amanda is always striving for excellence, and I don't think she'll ever lose that drive through hopefully what is a long career at Draper Middle School. So we are just through the roof and thrilled to have Amanda and congratulate her on receiving tenure, which is a very well-deserved recognition of Amanda as a fantastic teacher. Thank you.
Hello, this is Renee Gandro, and I have the honor today to talk about Sue Weinberg, who will be leaving Mohonasen and retiring in October. I had a hard time coming up with all the great attributes that Sue has, so Marissa and I asked some colleagues, and this is how they described Sue. Compassionate, sincere, kind, helpful, calming, genuine, funny, loving, chill, thirsty, loyal, witty, caring, innovative, darling, beautiful, thoughtful, adorable, adventurous, and a great listener. Sue started at Mohonasen teaching math in 2013. She has been involved in many extra activities. Also coached softball and basketball with Bill Van Wee. She still can be found running the clock for the girls' modified games. She is unbelievably creative, not a word usually said about a math teacher. We have all used her garage sale finds of treats and games. Any student was lucky if they got Sue for a teacher. Her daily inspirational videos and constant words of encouragement and praise have helped shape many of their lives forever. But above all that, Sue is an unbelievable friend. She has been there to support all of us during our ups and downs. She is always up for our Friday 3 p.m. meetings or even jumping in a pool after a tough school year. Sue is blessed with 4 beautiful children with her husband, Dan. Their closeness as a family, holidays, vacations, just want to be together and have fun is something I try to create with my own family. Sue, we will miss seeing your goldfish at lunch every day. This is not goodbye. We will be forever bonded. We are looking forward to creating many more memories together.
I would like to take a minute to reflect on Karla Empie's 20-plus years in the Mohonasen Central School District. Karla came to us as a special education teacher, became a CSD chairperson, and eventually the Director of Special Education and Alternative Education at Mohonasen. In each one of these roles, she had one driving force, and that was to do what's best for kids. Specifically, she was looking out for kids that might need a little bit of extra help and a little bit of extra advocacy, and she did a tremendous job at it. Like many of the people at Mohonasen, over the years she has taken on more and more responsibility as we've had different staffing cuts. Instead of complaining or being concerned about this, all she did was stay later, work harder, and continue to get the job. One of the things that symbolizes the respect that people had for Karla, along with her professionalism, is the fact of how often she was asked to chair district-level interview committees. This meant bringing together a significant number of people from all different backgrounds, students, teachers, administrators, board members, and facilitating the committee over the course of a long day. This was not an easy task, but she was always thorough and professional, and it's one of the reasons that we've ended up with some of the great people that we have here in the district today. The best word to describe Karla would be as an advocate. First and foremost, it was for students, but also for her department. We had lots of budget talks over the years, advocating for more money, more staffing for her department, which was desperately needed. But also as an advocate for her association, as she was president of the Mohonasen Administrators Association for several years. She's going to be sorely missed in the district. She did a great job developing programs that will stay long after she is gone. Karla, we wish you nothing but the best. I hope you have a happy and healthy retirement.
Kim Gagnon here. I'm going to say a few words about Sharon Senecal, who was a cook at the high school kitchen. She was in the food service department for over 20 years, started in 1995. Came to the kitchen in 2002 and then has worked as a cook in the kitchen ever since. The kitchen staff is really much like a family. We've all been there a lot of years and worked together in all conditions for 8 hours a day, so it really was like a family. And although school lunch went through a ton of changes, things that I remember most about Sharon are her life events, her two daughters' graduations from both high school and college, her daughter's wedding, her husband's retirement. Like any family, those are the things that really matter. Those are the things that we remember the most. I know I need to keep this brief, so I did actually write a poem for Sharon that I'd like to share. And it kind of sums up how we're feeling and where we are with Sharon's retirement. And it goes like this. It's time, Sharon Senecal, for us to part, but we must thank you from the heart for all you've done and all you've been as a lunch lady and a friend. You organized despite the mayhem, heat, and cold, fed the kids sliced cucumbers, salads, and Jell-O. So now is the time for laughter, good times, and fun. Eat, drink, and be merry. Sharon Senecal, your life has just begun. We miss you, and good luck in your retirement. We wish you nothing but the best. We hope you get to travel and do all the things that you've wanted to do. Good luck.
Congratulations to retiree Lisa Backman. Lisa is retiring after a long and successful career as a school librarian. She came to Mohonasen in 1993 with degrees from St. Rose and the University at Albany, and has had a successful career as a school librarian at a number of different levels, again, most recently at the high school. Lisa, we thank you for your contributions to our school community, and you certainly will be missed, and we wish you all the best in retirement.
And now I'd like to recognize our retirees. I'm going to start with Donna Patrician. Donna was a secretary when I came to Browne, but has served numerous roles in our district for many, many years. And is now enjoying being a grandmother to a beautiful baby boy that her daughter just had recently. We miss Donna very much. Donna kept our office very organized. She was very knowledgeable when it came to making sure that copiers and printers all functioned properly. And Donna was also very good at organization of keeping track of all of our supplies and making sure that things were checked in a timely manner and that everybody had what they needed. Donna was very reliable and very good on our front line, talking with parents and communicating with parents, and dealing with concerns that parents might have as well. I always appreciated her professionalism, and we really do miss her, but I know that she's enjoying her retirement. So congratulations, Donna, on your retirement. And now I'd like to share a little bit about Sandy McDuffie. Sandy is retiring this year from second grade. Sandy's been in second grade since I've been at Browne, but she, again, has been in our district for many, many years. And I felt very fortunate to work with Sandy. Sandy not only had a degree in elementary education, but also special education. And she, again, was very knowledgeable and was very easy for Sandy and very natural for her to be able to diversify lessons and plan to meet the needs of all the learners in her classroom. Sandy also, despite retiring, decided to pilot our new Eureka Math program this year, which really just speaks volumes and shows that she continued to learn right up to her last days at Browne, and we very much appreciate that. We will miss Sandy. She has a very warm and kind heart. She's very caring. But I know that her daughters are also really looking forward to having their mom retire, and I'm sure she'll enjoy spending her time with them as well. So best wishes, Sandy. We will miss you. Take care. And finally, I'd like to talk about one of our kindergarten teachers, Mrs. Weinlein. Mrs. Weinlein is retiring this year. Just finishing up, we just did kindergarten celebration yesterday together. And one thing that I have to say, in working with Melanie very closely for these last few years, is Melanie is a wonderful leader. She was a leader for her team. She served as an instructional teacher leader, and she was always really effective at, ensuring that, everybody understood where the boat was heading, and kept everybody on track. She was also very good at developing agendas and making sure that she got through all the necessary items that were on the agenda. She was also a very good communicator. If there were any concerns or any needs for the kindergarten team, she was always a great advocate for them. And I just really appreciated her organization and her ability to help lead the kindergarten team. And she will be greatly missed as well in the Red Room. But we wish her all the best as she heads on to her next adventure with her sister. They're going to be starting a business together, which sounds really exciting, and she will be greatly missed at Browne. Thank you.
I am very pleased to have the opportunity to speak on behalf of Mr. Kevin Cummings today. Kevin joined the Mohonasen family on September 1st, 2005. Spending time at both Pinewood and Draper, Kevin played a nice role in helping students know a familiar face at Draper, as he knew many of the students from his time at Pinewood. Kevin was always willing to lend a hand and help in after-school activities or any other event to support the Mohonasen community, with a very special interest in the Mohonasen Hall of Fame. Kevin has a very nice way about him in making personal connections with the students and fellow staff, as he often looked for the best in other individuals, which is best characterized by his famous phrase, "You're the best." After walking away from a conversation with Kevin, you felt connected and that he truly cared. In addition, his witty comments during breakfast, such as, "Hurry up, it's getting dark," helped cement his connection with students, and this caring for the students he worked with was brought to light even more during our distance learning, where he made daily phone calls to all of the students on his caseload and spoke with both students and parents to help ease this new reality, both for the families and himself. Kevin, we will miss your kindness, and we wish you the best as you transition into retirement. Thank you, Kevin. I am very pleased to have the opportunity to speak on behalf of Mrs. Cynthia Spuzzy. Cindy joined the Mohonasen family on October 7th, 1997, as a food service helper. She then transitioned to become a computer aide on October 19th, 1999. Then in September of 2005, Cindy transitioned to the role of teaching assistant in the computer lab. She has been a fixture of Pinewood, and with my entry as principal, I quickly knew that I could rely on her to make everything work. A problem with the projector before a faculty meeting, a presentation needing to be done for moving up day, needing to administer a universal screening on the computer for the first time, all of these things, Cindy came through in a pinch. Cindy also made sure of the culture of the building, as she played an instrumental role in the Sunshine Club, making sure we recognize accomplishments of others, take the time to send flowers in times of need, as well as organizing end-of-year lunches. Cindy always came through. Thank you, Cindy, for your many years at Pinewood. You care about the students, want the best for them, and we will most certainly miss you. Congratulations, and enjoy your retirement. I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to speak on behalf of Mrs. Elaine Lounsbury today. Elaine joined the Mohonasen family on November 20th, 1989. While she has been on numerous committees over the course of her career, most recently she was the vice president of the Mohonasen Teachers Association. My time with Elaine has been, let me call it, exciting. As all good administrators should do, I will start with the positive. Elaine is an excellent teacher and a wealth of knowledge in terms of classroom management and the incorporation of students in the operation of the classroom. In fact, she was part of the most recent work we have done at Pinewood that helped develop our behavioral matrix and the Be Respectful, Be Responsible, and Be Safe framework. Now, for some more feedback. She is also honest, very honest. I say this in jest, but the reality is that I respected Elaine's input, as I always knew that she was a straight shooter and where she stood on an issue. In fact, I missed having her at my faculty meetings at the end of this year, as I would begin with the question, what will Elaine say, when developing my outline of the meeting, and be ready for a witty answer and reply. I was sad to see Elaine miss much of the last year due to some medical issues, and will always remember watching her 5th grade class, no matter how cold it was, heading out for extra recess in snowsuits and boots. It was always a positive sight, and my response to her was always, if you're going out there with them and you've communicated with families, you're good. Elaine, we will miss you. Congratulations. And Paul, I hope you know what you're in for. Hello. I have been very fortunate to have worked closely with Mr. O'Connor in my role as building principal of Pinewood. Mr. O'Connor was my assistant principal and was a saving grace as I entered Pinewood mid-year and immediately had his support and his role since he had arrived in Mohonasen at the start of the school year. With this as a backdrop, Tom and I hit the ground running and collaborated on a daily basis to meet the needs of Mohonasen students. In fact, this year, I have learned firsthand how much I appreciated having a co-pilot at the helm and knowing that we could problem solve and talk through the different paths to the same destination and helping students succeed. His constant smile, willingness to listen to everyone around him, including students, teachers, and upset parents, made him essential to developing the culture of Pinewood and of the district as a whole. In terms of leadership from a safety and behavioral perspective, Mr. O'Connor was the point person for daily behavior in the building and established individual behavior plans for students to ensure their success, while also being available to support staff as needed when behavioral concerns arose. His TCI training came in handy a number of times for students who were in crisis, while his experience working with alternative education students in Albany also provided a framework for perspective and not becoming unraveled when the student presented with additional needs. His calm approach and collaborative nature allowed him to create solutions with classroom teachers that met the specific needs of the student. He exemplified differentiation in his approach and worked hand in hand with the school psychologist, school counselor, and social worker to ensure the success of all students. Other examples of managerial leadership that Mr. O'Connor took on each and every day while working in his role at Pinewood included collaborating with the Carmen Fire Department to make fire safety assemblies engaging and age appropriate, organizing the transportation staff assignments for the winter and spring concerts, converting the behavioral referral process from paper-based to computer-based, collaborating with the Mohonasen football team to have student athletes read to classes at Pinewood, organizing the Read for Ronald McDonald House each year, and securing stewards free ice cream coupons for all students who completed this summer reading program. In addition, this past year, he has been on the Code of Conduct team chair at the high school, created numerous videos at the high school as well. I truly feel that Mr. O'Connor provided the right fit to what Pinewood needed at the time. While lacking elementary experience, having been a high school English teacher, he immediately sought out the expertise of the teachers he worked with, listened to their needs, all while making connections with students and families that made him sorely missed upon his move to the high school this past year. Tom is and was the calm in the storm, a smile on his face and a desire to be consistent in his approach, all while developing relationships with students and staff. Mr. O'Connor consistently looked at the positive in each person and student he worked with and stayed the course, even when a parent may have pushed back or tried to resist a consequence or outcome. Mr. O'Connor worked with families but did not show partiality in any of his interactions. A progressive discipline approach, all while trying to develop and nurture relationships for the long run. Every person walked away knowing that the decision-making was fair and true to the mandates in place. A funny fact is that Tom would bring home the school law book for fun and read the various decisions made. While I believe that Mr. O'Connor has found his niche at the high school and has already made a huge impact in this role, I feel fortunate to have worked alongside Mr. O'Connor at Pinewood and know that he will continue to make a difference in the lives of the students of Mohonasen. Congratulations, Tom, on receiving tenure.
Mrs. Smith began at Mohonasen when there were only 2 tenured building level administrators in the entire district, and one of those has since retired. Such a situation is potentially unstable, yet also provides the opportunity for new administrators to literally build the culture and climate of their buildings, while simultaneously establishing a cohesive team infrastructure among other new administrators. I am gratified that Brott Primary School has benefited from the steadfast leadership of Mrs. Smith during this time. Leslie's previous service at Ballston Spa as an assistant principal at the middle school provided her with ample experience and depth to begin her principalship at Brott as a seasoned administrator ready to fully focus on the teaching and learning and the culture and climate at the primary school. I think one of the Brott parents said it very well just this very week when she wrote the following, quote, "What a great principal you are. You also have been an incredible support to me and our children. You have supported me through questions, opinions, and advice. You encourage my children and always give them warm welcomes when you see them. You have started every day in our home. We have loved waking up and listening to your announcements. Thank you isn't quite enough. Brott has been an amazing experience for my children, and you will always hold a special place in our hearts. Well said and well deserved. Congratulations, Leslie, on earning tenure at Mohonasen."
The next teacher I would like to share, who also received tenure this year, is Jen McGuire. I only had the pleasure of working with Jen for a year, as she did serve in other grade levels in the district. But within that year, I quickly got to know Jen, and one thing that I know for sure is that she has such a great sense of humor and a great personality. She, despite, first grade being a new grade level to her, she was very eager to jump in with both feet. She was over the summer in her classroom several times to ensure that she had her classroom set up and that it was ready to go with all the necessary resources and tools for her students in the fall. Jen also served as a member of our math committee. She worked extremely hard to plan and implement lessons to meet the diverse needs of her students. Jen was also a part of our pilot program for Eureka Math this year and did some co-teaching. And this experience certainly will prepare her for her next position in the district, which will be at the middle level. Jen had a great rapport with her students and families, and she did her very best to connect with students and would always bring a smile to their faces. Jen will be missed immensely, but I know that she will be a great fit at the middle level. Good luck, Jen, and congratulations. It is with great pleasure that I recognize this evening our Brott tenure recipients. To receive tenure is such a great accomplishment in one's career. The word tenure actually means to give someone a permanent post, especially as a teacher or a professor. This past spring, I presented the award each of these candidates, and it truly was an honor. Tonight, I'd like to begin by recognizing Karli Johnson. Karli Johnson is one of our speech therapists at Browne. I have had the pleasure of observing Karli working with our students, and she always shows her students how much she cares about them and their successes. I appreciate the way that she provides feedback and she guides her students through the learning process and the lessons and gets the students to reach their intended goals. Karli is also extremely knowledgeable. She has many tools to assist students, whether it's nonverbal cues or gentle reminders to encourage the students to speak in complete sentences. Karli also plans amazing cooking lessons and is able to work towards the students' individual IEP goals. She has a wonderful talent for asking open-ended questions, and it's amazing to see how these students are able to handle multi-step directions and use positional words such as on top of, before, behind. It is really a great pleasure to work with Karli, and I just want to say congratulations, Karli. The next tenure recipient I'd like to share with you is Rachel Shaluda. When I think of a few words or phrases that best describe Rachel, I think of an advocate, someone with the biggest heart who will truly do whatever it takes to support the whole child. Each year I've watched Rachel support our students both academically as well as socially, emotionally. She has a wonderful relationship with her students and families that she serves. One of the many things I truly appreciate about her is her way that she connects with her students. She has an amazing personality and is so genuine and heartfelt when she is advocating for her students. Rachel is also very organized, and every year she creates a classroom environment that supports the community of learners. If you were to see Rachel in action, you would see the passion she develops in her students who become authors and illustrators, scientists, historians, and mathematicians. Rachel is very well planned each day, but is also very flexible in her thinking and can quickly adjust to meet the needs of her students. I'm very happy to congratulate Rachel on receiving tenure this year.
Good evening, Mohonasen. It's with great pleasure that I recognize Danielle Conway for her tenure as a high school counselor. What you may not know about Danielle is she came to us after being a school counselor at the middle school in North Carolina, where she managed approximately 600 students on her caseload. I guess that speaks to why she is extremely organized, tech savvy, and often remembers things before most of us do. When I met Danielle, I was immediately impressed by her demeanor, her confidence, and her willingness to take on challenges. As a new school counselor, she took on leadership roles such as co-chairing the advisory committee for our K-12 department. She moderated the junior panel college evening program. She was the coordinator of Power of Peace. And she also participates and helps out with a variety of activities to support our students, including empowering women during our girls group. She chaperones various events, and she's an integral part of our high school mediation program, where she helps students to problem solve issues that may come up for them. Most importantly, Danielle makes really strong connections with our students and our families, whether she's guiding a student to discover what they want to do and what fits for them for their post-secondary plan, or whether it's helping a student who may be struggling emotionally or with a mental health issue. She's passionate about her students. For an example, Danielle worked out a plan for a student that was on the verge of graduating this year to have his work dropped off to him in Saratoga, where he was residing during COVID-19. She's done so much for our students, and we want to recognize her for all of her hard work. She is an amazing part of our team, and we're so proud of her. Congratulations. And also, here's a few words from one of Danielle's mentors.
I've had the pleasure of working with Danielle Conway for the past 5 years as a colleague and as a mentor. After she filled in as a permanent sub for a few months, we knew she was the one we wanted as a permanent hire to complete our team. We like to refer to Danielle as our tech and Google guru. As Mohonasen has moved towards everything Google, Danielle has been integral in helping our office keep pace and make the best use of what this technology has to offer. Danielle is excellent at reading people, and her calm demeanor enhances her ability to deal successfully with difficult situations. She has very clear boundaries, yet is flexible and connects very well with all types of students, particularly those at risk or who are disaffected. She has a unique way of helping a student understand their own role in a problem, helping them face that challenge and grow to be a better person as a result. As my frequent mediation partner, I see her do this time and again in a very neutral and non-judgmental setting, always ending with a successful resolution to the conflict. Every day that she walks through the door, she brings energy, fresh ideas, and a great sense of humor with her. She helps make the Counseling Career Center a great place to work. Wait, is it too late to withdraw my retirement letter? Congratulations on your tenure, Mrs. Conway.
And finally, this evening, I would like to recognize Carmella for receiving tenure this year. Carmella Fusco is one of our reading specialists at Braiman, and I've had the pleasure of working with her for 4 years at Braiman. When I think of Carmella, so many words come to mind and praises, but what stands out the most to me is that she truly is a natural leader. She's very positive, and she is very knowledgeable in the area of reading. Carmella is a very important member to our Braiman team and to our reading department. Carmella works with our students who require additional academic support in the area of reading and writing. Carmella has a special bond with her students each morning. Carmella helps to foster the love of reading through a daily book exchange. It is really amazing to see the connection that she has with our students, especially through book talks and book recommendations. Carmella is also a wonderful collaborator with her colleagues and myself, and very solution-focused. She works above and beyond the classroom in a variety of roles, including being an active member of our ELA committee to support the building and district goals and initiatives, and also plans an annual PALP event called the Reading Grammys to recognize the efforts of all of our reading students each year. So congratulations, Carmella, on receiving tenure.
It's an honor today to speak on behalf of Judy Andi in her 25 years in the Mohonasen Central School District. Judy came to Mohonasen in a part-time position in the high school and then quickly moved to a full-time position at the Dean's office in Draper Middle School. After that, in 1999, she came and spent 10 years as our benefits administrator in the business office. At that time, she passed the Executive Secretary 2 exam and was moved to be the secretary to the Assistant Superintendent for Business. Shortly after that is when I got to know Judy. She was working with Denise Spuzzy at the time, and I was being trained by Denise to take over her position when she left. Denise had a tremendous amount of knowledge. However, it quickly became apparent that Judy, behind the scenes and sometimes in front of the scenes, was a key piece of this position. She was extremely organized, could do about 5 things at the same time, and always was able to keep Denise on task and then subsequently me on task. I would have a folder on my desk in the morning to talk about some of the things that were happening in the next 2 weeks. They'd be 90% done. I would put the finishing touches on, get all the credit, and then the next day another folder would appear. It was amazing to work with her, and I definitely couldn't have done the job without her. One of the things that you notice is that when you do a good job, you get even more work. When Nancy Broussard retired in 2014 as the secretary to the superintendent, Denise took on that position as well. Not only that position, but also secretary to the board. So now she essentially had 2 full-time positions and then became secretary to the board. She was able to balance all of these and do a great job. She did all of it with a smile, was a tireless worker, did a great job with the Board of Education materials, and seamlessly took on the additional responsibilities for the Assistant Superintendent for Business. One of the things that comes to mind with Judy that I think really symbolizes her dedication to the district is the day of the budget vote. First of all, she makes this a family affair. Her husband, Ray, is there for almost the entire day, for about 14 hours, and is one of the best ballot rippers we've ever seen. Judy comes with her family, they volunteer, they're there for the entire day, she organizes everything, she makes sure that everything runs well. No matter how early I ever got there for the budget vote, she was always there first, and she was always the last one to leave. That dedication to something that she knew was so important to the district is really symbolic of what she does for us. And going along those same lines, even when she decided to retire, I was a little bit worried, as was Shannon, with all this knowledge kind of walking out the door. However, in true Judy fashion, she has been there as a mentor and a resource to her replacement, Kate Berry. She's available to her by phone, by email, by text, 24/7, always gets back to her in a timely fashion and has made the transition. Judy, I just want to thank you for all that you've done, both for me and for the district. I'm so happy that you're going to be able to spend more time with your family and your grandkids. I know that you're going to continue to give more than you receive, but I hope you take some time for yourself. You will be truly missed, and I wish you nothing but a long and happy retirement. Take care.
Hi, Marianne. I left my video for last, and now there's very little time left because so many people had so many great things they wanted to say about you. So I'll just say how much I'm going to miss seeing your smiling face when I come in every morning, and I hope that you enjoy every minute of your retirement, and we will miss you, and of course those delicious Italian cookies. Enjoy!
What I will miss most about Mrs. Salamone is her kindness and her willingness to lend an ear when you needed it. I'll also miss those delicious treats she used to bring in every once in a while, and just her presence in general. Best of luck in retirement, Mrs. Salamone. We will miss you.
Hi, Marianne. Congratulations on your retirement. Over the years, it was so wonderful working with you in the growing place and then in the library. No one deserves a retirement more than you. You've put in so much for our kiddos at Mohonasen. Enjoy, and thanks again.
Salamone will definitely be missed at Draper. We'll miss her wonderful baked goods in the staff room and her bright colored shoes brightening up our days, and of course her smile. Congratulations, Marianne.
Marianne Salamone, kind, compassionate, caring human being, great friend, and awesome baker. Gonna miss her.
Hi, Marianne. I just wanted to wish you a wonderful retirement ahead. It's hard to believe that after all these years of friendship, photocopier chats, and Italian cookies for breakfast, that you won't be here with us at Draper next year. But please come back and visit anytime. Team Giattino's really gonna miss you. Take care. Happy retirement.
Congratulations.
No,
you stop. What just happened?
Wait, what?
Congratulations, Marianne.
That was terrible.
It was.
Congratulations, Marianne. Guys, happy anniversary!
doesn't work.
Hello. I have been fortunate to have worked closely with Mrs. Wiedemann in my position as the building principal of Pinewood Intermediate School from March of 2017 to present. Mrs. Wiedemann is a third grade teacher at Pinewood who, while a relatively new teacher, has developed the respect of her entire grade level. In the classroom, Mrs. Wiedemann has developed a classroom community that is focused on building relationships and values the teaching of communication skills. She does this via the daily use of the morning meeting in which she teaches students how to ask questions after another student shares and sets the tone for a positive day that will be focused on their learning. Mrs. Wiedemann is also proud of how she incorporates technology in the classroom, which includes a digital observation journal. She has incorporated the use of QR codes and task cards where students can use the iPad to check their own answers, and is a regular user for her class of iPads, Chromebooks, and Class Dojo. Being a leader in the use of technology for purposeful ways to improve instruction, she has helped her grade level understand how to use ReadWorks to have students improve their reading and subsequent responses to demonstrate their understanding. She has helped much of her grade level now use this program and also was comfortable to take on a leadership role in a faculty meeting and presented on the use of the program as well. In addition to the classroom role, Mrs. Wiedemann has stepped up to impact the building and district on a whole, and has served on our character counts, science, and social studies committees. In all of these capacities, she has made a difference at Pinewood, but specifically in her role in the social studies committee. Mrs. Wiedemann has been able to demonstrate her leadership qualities there. She has led the charge for her grade level as we transform our curriculum into inquiry-based learning and in providing students with the capacity to understand the world around them and having the skill set to take informed action to make improvements. Her colleagues respect her dedication and time put in, as well as her technology capabilities in updating the curriculum maps and finding resources to support this work. Her collaborative nature invites others into sharing the new learning, while the level of sophistication commands respect from veteran and novice teachers alike. In addition, Mrs. Wiedemann teaches after-school intervention classes and volunteered to be part of a pilot group who rolled out the new Eureka Math program this past year. In an effort to do so, she joined a core group who attended a 2-day training in Boston to ensure a successful rollout of the program. I feel fortunate to work alongside Mrs. Wiedemann and anticipate the continual positive impact she will have on the Mohonasen community. She is someone who will continue to add to the improvement of our academic program, but more importantly, will continue to work tirelessly on behalf of the students of the Mohonasen School District. Lisa, congratulations on tenure. Hello. I have been fortunate to have worked closely with Mrs. Doak as a 5th grade teacher at Pinewood throughout my time in Mohonasen as the building principal. Bryttni has truly become a leader in curriculum at her grade level, serving as a 5th grade social studies and science representative, while also working with Leah Mermelstein, a writing consultant, and our literacy coach to help improve our writing instruction. In addition, she is also one of the teachers who took the bold step forward to be part of our pilot team in teaching the Great Minds math modules this year. Mrs. Doak is also continues her support to the building beyond the regular school day in her capacity as an academic support teacher after school and for Summer Stars, in which she provides additional focused instruction to a number of our struggling students. She truly is a collaborative member of the team in school, and she always gives 100% once she commits to a project or a committee. While Mrs. Doak has truly made her mark as an instructional leader in the development of curriculum and aligning with the standards, it is the role the teacher plays in the classroom that truly matters, and in this, she has established herself as well. She has implemented the strategies and curriculum we have been developing that highlight the instructional shifts towards the development of students who dig deeper and can explain their thinking. This culture of learning is what drives the classroom, and students know that there is value in what they do. In her teaching philosophy, which was included in her portfolio sample, Mrs. Doak speaks of learning the value of every student coming through her classroom, and that each student is an individual person with different needs, wants, worries, and so on. As a result, Mrs. Doak has grown as a responsive educator who takes the time to understand her students and their individual needs. With this, she has taken on the role of supporting students who have an IEPs. This has further helped to expand her flexibility and collaboration skills as she works with related services and special education teachers to support students in their learning by providing a consistent and positive approach. This has played into her growth in seeing the significant values of always being positive and having positive body language. In her portfolio, she talks of how students feed off of her energy and how crucial it is to show students that her classroom is a positive and safe place for them to come every day and become risk takers. Having had the pleasure of observing Mrs. Doak multiple times, I keenly remember the most recent time in which I was able to see the class community she has created as she modeled a personal narrative and small moment in her own life during a writing lesson. The students were engaged throughout and dived right in to tell their own small moment, and at the end wanted to share with the entire class. This positive engagement is but one small example of the classroom learning community she has created with her students. I feel fortunate to work alongside Mrs. Doak and anticipate the continual positive impact she will have on the Mohonasen community. She is someone who will continue to add to the improvement of our academic program, but more importantly, will continue to work tirelessly on behalf of the students of the Mohonasen School District. Bryttni, nice job and congratulations on tenure. Hello, I have been fortunate to have worked closely with Mrs. Felberbahn in my position as the building principal of Pinewood Intermediate School. While Mrs. Felberbahn has been in Mohonasen since 2012, this is her tenure year. Mrs. Felberbahn has been an elementary string teacher at Pinewood and Draper, and I have been very fortunate to have her working in my building, having witnessed the success of our students under her tutelage for the past 3 years. Mrs. Felberbahn creates a community of learners who strive to be better in their craft with each lesson. In her classroom community, students are driven to excel, demonstrate responsibility in practicing and having their instrument and lessons on the appropriate day, and find that special sense of belonging to something bigger than themselves in the Pinewood Orchestra concerts that occur both in the winter and spring. Having witnessed her lessons and in reviewing her portfolio binder, I see simple but consistent routines that students understand and appreciate. Consistency and high expectations seems to be the words that best describe Mrs. Nancy Felberbahn and the work she does with students every day. In addition, research has shown that explicit and immediate feedback is highly correlated with improvement, and this is an area that Mrs. Felberbahn excels. Having witnessed multiple lessons with students, the feedback loop is constant, and students are asked to self-assess as well as practical real-time adjustments being provided, and then asking students to demonstrate to ensure they understand the adjustment and can apply to improve. Mrs. Felberbahn utilizes the Remind app to send reminders of dates and other important information, as well as traditional paper notices, which include resources for string parents to assist them in securing instruments. In addition, student success relies on communication with the teachers and staff within the building who need to share their students with her. She provides a schedule to all staff and works very closely with her fellow music instructors to ensure that a collective message is being sent and consistency is in place across the programs. Over the course of our time working together, we have collaborated to establish better systems, having worked with transportation and buildings and ground staff. Anytime you provide instruction outside the school day or needing space that a full orchestra requires, there are a number of moving parts that come into play and could go wrong. Throughout this process, Nancy has been very willing to accept any feedback and make any changes to make these things a success for our students. I feel very fortunate to have worked alongside Mrs. Felberbahn and anticipate continual positive impact that she will have on the Mohonasen community. Nancy, congratulations on receiving tenure. I am proud to be speaking on behalf of Sarah Kaiser and her receipt of tenure today. Sarah has worked with Mrs. Smith, Mr. Arquette, and myself over her time at Mohonasen. In all of our interactions, I believe the best word to describe her is professional. When observing a lesson with Mrs. Kaiser, you quickly realize there is a keen sense that both students and Mrs. Kaiser place tremendous importance on the work they're doing, and it shows. Students walk into the lessons, grab their own personalized folder, sit down, and begin ready to use the full 40 minutes with minimal loss of instructional time. To support this aim, Mrs. Kaiser has set up the classroom for learning with flexible seating, independent workspace, and clear expectations. Mrs. Kaiser also has a teacher website with resources to support students and families. This is in tandem with her Twitter account, to which she shares articles related to the field of literacy and student accomplishments. Positive energy and caring for her students are the norm. As Mrs. Kaiser outlined in her portfolio, the concept of building trust is essential. It is her hope that through a strong relationship with students that they'll feel comfortable taking risks while in my classroom and feel successful. This is indicative and feeds into the culture of learning as students value and appreciate the feedback from Mrs. Kaiser and are willing to push ahead and make gains, which was displayed in our most recent mid-year benchmark with Star 360, in which all but one student made significant gains in their reading ability from the fall. Home communication plays a key role as well, as she's used parent surveys, reading bag instructions, and strategy handouts to help secure the home and school connection. Mrs. Kaiser is thoughtful about her instruction and continues to dedicate herself to her profession, having just attended the New York State Reading Association Literacy Conference with her fellow coaches, and she brought back ideas to the building in an effort to ensure the success of our students. In addition, she has become an active member on the ELA committee and has begun to find her place as a literacy coach, which has included presentations to her colleagues at faculty meetings on guided reading strategies, as well as gathering paired passages resources for classroom teachers to use to support our building goals. This past year, Mrs. Kaiser had stepped into that shared literacy coach role at Pinewood, and she continues to evolve in this capacity as she develops presentations for her colleagues. In addition to her role as a teacher and a literacy coach, Mrs. Kaiser has volunteered for a number of community events, including the PALP Reading Night, Maddie's Mark 5K, Brought Reading Grammys, second grade parent night, Pinewood Read Bowl, and has chaperoned our Kids Night Out events. I feel fortunate to work alongside Mrs. Kaiser, and I'm very pleased to congratulate her on receiving tenure, and I look forward to the continued positive impact that she will play on the Mohonasen community. Congratulations, Sarah.
It's my privilege and honor to introduce our next tenure recipient, Miss Lisa Smith. I have known Lisa for the past 3 years, first at Pinewood, then she came over to Brott as our library media specialist, and now she went back to Pinewood as a third grade teacher. And I can count on Lisa as my tech hero, my personal tech guru, no matter what is coming my way. Lisa has been an incredible asset to our team here at Mohonasen, but most importantly, when she was at Brott, she was a major part of the K-2 curriculum and development for technology. She really went out into her classroom and tried different things to see if kindergartners, first or second graders were capable of doing these tech tasks that we were asking them to do. With Lisa's persistence and patience, she was able to be successful with every single one of her goals. Lisa's enthusiasm and excitement for her students is evident every single day. It makes me want to go back into the third grade classroom and be one of her students. Thank you, Lisa, so much for all of the excitement and passion and love that you bring to our Mohonasen community. You are the definition of Mohon proud. Thank you again. It's my honor to introduce our next tenure recipient, Miss Nicole Battisti. This year was my first year getting to know Nicole as I transitioned from Brott to the high school, and she made this transition absolutely perfect for me. She really kept me organized, not just on schedule, but how the classes were run, and she was pregnant as we got started with the school year. She left in October and left the most detailed lesson plans that I had ever seen. One of the hardest things that I had to do at the beginning of this year was trying to find a replacement substitute for Nicole. It was absolutely impossible. First of all, being a female in the field is out of this world. There's not very many, and we are so lucky to have you here at Mohonasen. But also, her classroom management skills, whew, she had some of the most challenging groups of students that I have ever seen, and I never had a problem with her students when she was there. She is able to keep students' attention, motivate them, and keep them accountable for their work. Nicole is an enthusiastic hard worker that always comes up with new creative ideas. She is not afraid to take risks, and I love the energy that she brings to our team. Congratulations, Nicole, and thank you again for all that you do.